Hi there, welcome to Carcassonne with Utze. It's the Chinese Carcassonne Online Championship 2025, where the winner of the final will get a Carcassonne Champions League main stage ticket. And one participant of said final is already known. That's meeples, who won their semi-final versus Inspiration earlier today with a clean sweep of 2-0. We are here in the quarterfinal between minqian123 versus 203 Club. Minqian was able to beat Dr. Taihan 2020 in the round of 16. Strong opponent, and the same is true for 203 Club, who was able to beat Secret Star. In this quarterfinal, I definitely would favor the master of this duel, which is 203 Club with a top rating in the 700, I don't know, 20s, 30s maybe. We'll check in a few seconds. There was one huge upset in this tournament already, and this was QAZ's performance in the group stage, lost versus Vailina and Super Iron Head, and was ousted again in this group here. Well, heads down to playing best of one, quite likely. I don't think the current world champion would have lost best of threes against these two, but one never knows. And so I don't think Minqian isn't able to upset the free club today, so I would expect a fairly even matched game, but let's take a look at the two's rating. Oh, well, I misremembered. 203 Club had a peak rating over 800 and even was able to snatch the first place in the ELO rating, at least for a few days there, maybe only a few hours, but definitely first place in the ELO rating. So 800, I don't know, 5 or 10 maybe. I mean, BGA's graph didn't even pick up the 800 something, whereas Minqian's top rating is somewhere slightly below 600. Nonetheless, I checked the replays versus Dr. Zaihan, and the play looked pretty solid, maybe even quite good. So we'll see today. These two have a bit of history here in favor of 203, although at least 2 of these 4 games were pretty close, and I wouldn't expect anything else today. But again, let's see. So let's check. They haven't started yet, even though it's a minute past. This might be due to a problem with tournaments again. Let's see. They haven't created a tournament, but I don't think one of them is BGA premium member, looks like it. So no premium indication over here, and the same was true for Minqian. But what's more troublesome is 203 Club's online status, which is not online. So it might be the shortest stream yet on this channel if they don't turn up. Well, let me quickly check if they have rescheduled the match, but I don't think so. No, looks like now GG's indicator says live as well, so I haven't blundered in regards to starting time here. So let's check their status again, and they are online now, which is good. There is some cryptic tournament. Might these be... No, these aren't user IDs. I mean, a bit long. Let's see what this tournament is about. Looks like Carcassonne. It was created a few minutes ago by the organizer Q. So, here we go. They will start at 14 UTC. Okay, well then, anyone there? Oh, hi Kolpnik. Yeah, I'm fine, except for this delay here. So we will start in 7 minutes, I guess. Yeah. So let's say thanks. And then we'll find something else to do. Well, let's take a look. I always have a lot of tabs open. The only question is which one could be interesting. Let's see what's up here. Oh yeah, this one was interesting. So this is from Lord Terryclough's game versus James 81. Wrong direction, no, right direction. Let's quickly check. This was some qualification. Lord Terryclough is UK. Where's UK? The lower semifinals played 2 days ago. Yeah, 2 days ago. Sadly, too late for me to cover this one. Would have loved, especially this match, and turns out it was pretty close. So this situation here sees the Lord at -1. A problem is this connection over here. Let me enlarge the tiles. So here we go. This connection over here, which is still possible for blue with the quadruple crossroad. And another key spot is this here, which is possible with the remaining Dorito. And as yellow is the only one with still a meeple in hand, their chances are looking good. They just need the Dorito. But the problem is, in 2 out of 3 cases, they won't get the Dorito. So let's open permutation here. If yellow gets the Dorito, they will win this game because this ruin currently in blue's possession is just too valuable. So blue won't win those games. So this here goes to yellow. And then the question is, what do we do about this field at the bottom? Or fields, I should say. These are 3 separate fields for now. So there is yellow's 6-point field on the left. There's yellow's 9-point field in the middle. And there's blue's 3-point field on the right side. Well, I should write something in the chat, right? So the problem for yellow is, if blue connects here, blue scores 6 points, and yellow won't be able to counter again because the curve they have in hand is the last option to do so. So if you now play this move, which in fact LTC did, you lose 6 points temporarily, might gain later these 3 points. So you'd be down -4. And -4 on this board is pretty tough to overcome, except for getting the Dorito, because there aren't any other features you could score 4 points with if you get the twin caps. There's a ruin up top for 3 points, but that just doesn't work. There are no other fields worth more than 3 points, and in fact, you couldn't even grab a field with the twin cap. So connecting here just doesn't work. I mean, if you connect, you need to do reto. So why connect? Well, because blue could get the crossroad, but does the crossroad help blue? Well, yeah, it does, but not when yellow gets the reto. So blue would win this game here, even for sure, because yellow can't do anything about this connection, as blue will get the crossroad on the next turn. Will blue win this one here? Well, they could add 3 points to their ruin. Then they would be up at +4, but they are the starting players, so yellow would only need to score 4 points. And there is a road here which yellow can snag with either the curve or the crossroad. So this here should go to the Lord if he just doesn't connect. What about the other two options? This is basically the same. Should also be in the Lord's favor. And this one here, well, the problem is this connection for blue needs to happen for them to score more points. If yellow scores something else. So let's see. 2 points for blue, 4 + 3. And well, what does yellow then do? They could block blue's connection, but it just doesn't work because they'd score 2 points versus 2 points for blue over here and would still be down by 1 point. They could score 3, but then blue connects. So this goes to blue as well. Therefore, if yellow just doesn't connect, it's a 66% winning chance for them. If they connect, it's a 66% losing scenario here. And that was a quick assessment of this situation. More or less just training ground for me, because I will shoot a video about this exact situation. And now I hope these two will play their game, and they do. 9% with 6 tiles played. Okay, yeah, that's correct. So again, we are in the Chinese Carcassonne Online Championship quarterfinal between minqian123 versus 203 Club. The latter, an experienced master with a top rating over 800, and the former playing yellow here with a top rating slightly below 600 at least. This was the info I caught from the ELO rating graph. So we'll see. My favorite in this match here would be 203 Club, but yellow was able to oust Dr. Tsai Han in the previous round, even with 2-0. Definitely able to mount an upset here as well. Nicely takes away this cap. Also restricts the square to the remaining daggers. Yeah, we'll see. For now, it looks definitely way better for blue with these 2 monasteries and a field that might still grow, even though yellow tries to prevent some options here and curbs the development of blue's field on the left side quite convincingly. And threatens, of course, a 12-point city up top. Doesn't work now, so do you defend here? Prevent any, well, more threatening blocks with the road, which would reduce the tiles to complete the city by quite a lot, and also would prevent any attacking possibilities from blue. They don't, but still get away with it. Further harass this square. Blue defends indirectly, also pre-closes this 8-point city to be taken once they get their hands on one of the daggers. But yellow, of course, would love to kill the square with one of the still remaining 8 curves. Blue is a bit scroogey here. Neither meepling this nor that city, although they still have 4 meeples in hand, and at least the left monastery is rather easy to liberate. So this is definitely too stingy for my taste. Let's see if this works out. And working out in this case, I define as they'd be able to get both cities later. The first one they took immediately afterwards. This here is now killed. So one dead meeple for 8 points, or 7 points for now. This square is still alive. Blue. And yellow definitely would love to get this road closed while also taking 4 points from this cap here. I see how that then turns out. This is a pre-block, so if yellow were to take this one, blue would likely swoop in from the top and restrict this to a dagger. Nonetheless, yellow takes the city, but with the wrong orientation. This cap has to be turned to the right side, quite frankly. It's one thing to get restricted here. It's another thing to allow your opponent to do this with tempo while also using this blocking square to build a feature of their own. So this here, I definitely would consider being a mistake. Yeah, I get this, but I don't like it. They, of course, didn't want to do this move, as this would give yellow the option to defend and also create a 4-point loop. But now there are 6 straights gone, and yeah, then it's okay. I mean, normally you'd have way more straights and way more easy defenses for yellow, which isn't the case with this remaining tile stack. So yeah, it's okay. The other problem, of course, was they didn't want to go up top, which would have worked then with straights to block and not to defend, but would have compromised their city more than absolutely necessary, of course, with restricting options from both sides. And as is, there's only the one from the right. But yellow was able to defend, also nicely created a possible 3-point road once they get one of the 2 remaining daggers. Problem for them now is that their road on the right side might get restricted to the same dagger by blue. Not yet, as yellow threatened this square, and blue decided to use the vanilla there instead of creating the block on the right side. But with the cow or Fiorito, they might execute this restriction here, which then is the same as for the city on the left side. For now, I mean, this field is likely to grow, might even by a lot once monasteries hit in the marked spaces. But I'm still not a great fan of this early farmer. Just consider straight there and no road monastery here. And this poor farmer then only scores 3 points and sits there for 40, 45 moves while you are down to 2, maybe 3, 1 meeple later. So not a fan. And yeah, Kolpnik is right. The same about this one here. It's too early as well, at least for my taste. But we'll see. There are options for all these fields here. So this one, blue's field, yellow, to be united through the dagger on the left side. And then all yellow's farmers might come into play. So the first step is, of course, drawing the dagger, and this worked very well for yellow. Also took away the option for blue to add an insurance farmer here. But this square is now killed. This was already the 4th crossroad. So overall, looks quite good for blue here. Yeah, this is technically a restriction, but there are still 4 caps to go here. 1 dagger and 3 roses. So as long as there's nothing done from the bottom to further restrict this to the dagger, blue really won't mind. It's quite likely they'd get one of these 4 pieces. In fact, at this point in time, it's nearing 95% to at least get one. Sure, 95% doesn't tell you anything about when this would happen, but usual waiting time should be maybe 4 moves, or 4 moves for them, so 8 tiles. But we'll see if it happens or if not. And even if not, I still think blue should be the favorite at this point in time to win this. There's still an outside chance for yellow's farmer on the right to make it into the main field, but this definitely is very tough to execute. So if blue closes their city with the road, a rose, you could create a 6-point loop and then connect all the way through here. And if they get their hands on the dagger, the second road monastery for yellow could also be used to connect to the main field. A second, because I'm pretty sure they'd use the first one next to their top road meeple. And here we see if my concept is correct or not. There are still 3 roses left, and it's rather likely this year gets liberated, so please take it. And they do. And now it looks pretty good for yellow again. Connect here, add another monastery in the middle to connect these fields. Maybe even block the connection from top to center field. Yeah, definitely interesting. We'll see. So yellow pads this possible field their farmer because they really didn't like to go up top, as that would invite blue to add more farmers there and would then risk possibly later united field up top. The problem though was that this here could be easily limited. In this case, blue used the road monastery to score 3 points and also limit this square to the one and only remaining straight. But now that chances for more cities on this field are dwindling anyway, it's not even critical, so let me wipe this. I mean, there's still the outside chance to connect here, but that's gone now anyway. So this might just end up at 0 points. And, well, could be the biggest reason why yellow in the end might lose this game. It's one thing to add a farmer somewhere on a 6-point field with the hopes to get into a bigger field in the end. It's another to dump it on a 0-point field and die there. This here looks like a ruin in the end. I don't see incentive for blue to do anything about it, and it doesn't look like a wise investment for yellow to add 3 pieces there as well. And it's only the question whether yellow will get their hands on a rose soon to get 2 meeples plus 6 points, 1 for the road, 1 for the monastery, 4 for the city, minus 3 to blue's field. But getting these 2 meeples back would be pretty crucial if they want to have a chance in this game. Looks for now like they need to unite these fields up top and get meeples back, else blue might just be able to outscore them. Yeah, definitely. Putnik says yellow should keep this meeple in hand just in case they get a rose to score these 4 points. And he's absolutely right. In a case like this, when there are still quick point tiles out there, it's usually a good idea to keep a meeple in hand. Their biggest problem, though, is this square here. They would love to unite here and drop this monastery, but if they only have the one meeple in hand, well, they have to decide whether to go for it or not. And the problem of this monastery is that it could be killed with one curve immediately, and there are still 4 curves in the deck. So, and it's not even the curves only. The 2 remaining daggers would kill as well, as all 5 vanillas are already gone. So a monastery would definitely be a tricky decision for yellow. If they don't get their hands on a monastery, they could connect up top as well with 2 curves, for example. But all these thoughts about not meepling the monastery are moot, as they got their hands on a rose, which is arguably the best tile for them in this situation. Blue creates another field on the right side. Yeah, why not? I mean, there are still 4 caps to close this. There are green squares here. You could also then later take this 4-point road while adding another cap to your field. I'm not sure this is the best idea for blue, but at least it more or less secures their 15-point field at the bottom. This here I definitely don't like. And this is just great. Perfect. This is perfection. You kill the square, you limit this connection to 2 pieces. You attack yellow's 9-point field, 3 cities on it. You take away the monastery square. This is just great. And the biggest threat for blue arguably was unification of these fields up top. And that's just gone out of the window. This isn't precise as well. There are still 3 crossroads left, but only 2 curves and no dagger of this variety. So if you wanna prevent blue from connecting here, well, you'd have to use another orientation, or you should rather use another orientation. Unless your idea is to force them to use valuable crossroads over here. But I mean, yeah, this might even have some upside. The problem, though, is if you kill this square, blue can still connect to the left with the daggers. And you could have killed this connection with a curve, which you should have, because now you are the side who's needing this connection. By the way, this 2-point city won't go anywhere. This will be dead, is dead, actually. There's no piece for this square left. So my gut feeling this here was excessive definitely was correct. And even if yellow then connects to blue's 12-point field, this really doesn't do much for them. Uniting a 9-point field, okay, counters off. 9-point field for yellow versus blue's 6-point field, 6-point field, 12-point field would only net them 3 points, so this connection doesn't do a lot for them. And now, what do we do? Nothing. Just add a curve here to later snatch the 6-point road, 7-point road then. Ooh, I don't know. Doesn't look like it will work. So blue takes 7 points, yellow, what do they do? Take the field, okay. Doesn't win you the game though. Yep, this is killed. The 3-point spread is saved. Yeah, I know what yellow would have needed to do. This here, this field attack, hoping to draw the crossroad and get the rotary to connect their third farmer into the field. This would have been a 15-point field, so 6 points more for them. 12 deducted from blue. That's an 18-point swing right there, plus 4 road points, 22 points. And then you are, or could have been, back in business. Arguably tough to pull off with 2 roses still in a deck. At least I think this was the case. Let's quickly check. Yeah, here's the curve, and blue would have killed it immediately on the move afterwards, but I think at least this was a chance, even though only a slim one, due to needing the 50-50 and another sub 50-50. So maybe 20% chance to pull this heist off. But the 20% chance at winning is better than 0 any day of the week. So not convinced by yellow's play in this game. There were quite a few suboptimal moves, which I definitely didn't like. And 2 of 3 underlined their status as favorite in this match here. Let's quickly check. Have they played tournament? Yeah, it's a tournament, so it should be starting in a few seconds. At least I hope so. Didn't read anything about a break. Okay. Minqian is offline according to this status here. Here we go. Might it work now? It still doesn't. Then let's take a look at 203 club. Oh, they haven't joined the game yet. Okay, then let's quickly figure out their top rating. So 203 club, here we go, 804, and there's the aforementioned badge, top 1 elo. When was this? So mid 2024. Well, perfect timing, as there were quite a lot of players with ratings over 800 last year. And I think only a few days when there was none with more than 8.5. One. So looks like both have joined now, and finally the second game starts with 4 points to Minqian, and 203 will counter with a city of their own. The only question is where exactly. In this case, yeah, I'd do the same at the bottom. This here is too easy to be taken advantage of. It depends. It's philosophy. You could call this imprecise. You could call this precise. With a dagger asymmetry, two right-handed daggers. So city cap up, road turns to the right, gone. You could say turning the cap to the right, so your opponent can't equalize this with a dagger, would be the right option. But you could also argue that this here is the better orientation, because if your opponent tries to harass you, at least you'd have all 3 daggers still left. So it depends a bit what you're gunning for and against which options you'd rather like to protect. So in the end, it's quite likely a wash. Question mark. Not sure I'd even indirectly would want to continue yellow's road, even if I get options to rather restrict this connection. Don't really see the upside of going here instead of just taking 1 square at the bottom. Because if yellow connects, they gain a square to harass my city, while also adding 2 points to the road, which definitely would not have been the case at the bottom unless they decided to snatch another road there. I don't know. I don't like it. Didn't turn out bad for blue, so nothing to worry about now. So now we see what blue is made of, and this here is a clear mistake. There's no reason at all to close the city, apart from, of course, getting a meeple back and scoring points. But why do you need a meeple if you have 5 in hands? I don't know. I wouldn't need one. I have the 5. These are way more than enough for now and for the next 5 moves. And what happens if you draw an extender now? Well, you'd have to take one of these shoddy city starters instead of the perfect one, which would have been an open city cap. So concept of at least 2 open cities isn't in Blue's playbook, which leaves me puzzled, to say the least. I would think someone on the master level should definitely know that. And apply this knowledge, of course. But for now, they haven't been punished for this. Yeah, also, sure, take 2 points with 6 meeples in hand. I mean, why not just take this one? Is this really that problematic? Take the 3-point road here next to it, and even if your opponent limits your monastery, you'd have still 2 daggers left to release the monk back to your bench. This here is just way too timid, leaving the upside of the monastery right there, dead in a ditch next to the road. Yeah. I think I have to reactivate my co-host dummy, which says occupy monasteries, just so folks know. So now we'll see. Yellow will close the road, likely at least. Will they also meeple another road, or even go for this one up top? They don't. I mean, yeah, all 3 horses are gone, so restriction of this square was likely. But again, you have 6 meeples in hand. What do you two want to accomplish with all these meeples if you don't put them on features? It's not a trading card game where you just collect meeples to show them off to your friends or something. They are made to play. Yeah. This year, for example. Why not? It's not likely that you will be able to close this cap here, and therefore I might have chosen the upper option, but their goal very likely was to restrict this road here. I don't see the need to do this, but okay, if they go for it, why not? Also, what? Sure, take your 6-point field and be happy with it, but why not kill this square so yellow can't take a 7-pointer on their field and create just a bigger field? Well, wouldn't be my favorite. I don't like big fields. I'd like to keep it small as well, but if my field really doesn't have great a great outlook there, whereas my opponent's field could grow in a lot of directions, then I'd rather try to unite than wall off the fields like this here. Yeah, so nah, 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 nah. This can't be the best move in this situation. Yeah, and therefore, I might as well openly root for yellow to win this game, right? Just so we get a decider. I mean, that's always the best case, having 3 games in a best of 3. Maybe some content moves would be great. So, for example, splitter over here. Yeah. Of course, blue doesn't go for it. Maybe yellow later would, but I think the score is too close to go for stuff like that. Yeah, poor yellow. Blue dropped the quadruple city there, and now a cow just to more or less pre-kill this city. Rather unlikely to be close. They need either the splitter or dagger and a bunch of other pieces as well. So looks like yellow just goes for the ruin. Didn't want to connect up top, as that would give blue a pretty good chance with this stack of tiles left to attack the city, and a 75% chance without accounting for restrictions, or rather blocks from the left side, to unite to the city. So looks like yellow is waiting for either the cow or maybe the road Dorito, as well, as there aren't that many pieces to attack the city again with a road plus city piece. So earlier, they were afraid of meepling a very juicy 6-point monastery with upside of supporting roads next to it. But now blue takes this 4-point road, and there are only 2 tiles left to immediately liberate the road. Well, I guess finally expanding their field to 6 points and hoping to expand it this way motivated them to take the 4 points, considering they want to place roads, or a road piece at least, here anyway. So it's definitely more efficient to grow the road and the field at the same time. And now they even meeple ruins. Okay. Maybe yellow doesn't want to connect at all, which I don't like, actually. I would keep this option to connect there open, and also the option to possibly take this over now that I have the meeple majority, even though it's temporary, and would rather add this extender to the ruin on the left side. Technically still a city, but only barely. Yeah, yellow pads their field here. Also takes a second field right next to it, which could also act as an insurance farmer if blue were to attack somewhere. Blue quite likely doesn't want to. considering they played to unite in these fields up top. But yellow with the perfect follow-up after taking this small field here, extend the city, and their chances here are definitely intact. There's still this dagger left to at least take 4-point city. Maybe if it's very late in the game, they could even take another 6-point field. Blue expanded the road, also opened up the field, added 1 point to their city. Now it's a ruin, to the ruin. Is it a ruin? It should be, due to these two squares here and no Dorito being left. Well, technically they need 5 tiles to close the city and exactly 5 tiles to do so? No, there aren't. Because they need the dagger in 2 places. Okay, so this is the ruin. The more crucial part was adding this cap to their field to be taken later with one of the 3 remaining caps for 7 points. Blue added a monastery, trying to control Yellow City. Then they harassed it, and Yellow added this Dorito. The last one. The only problem with this Dorito is the cow. But even if Blue were to add a cow there, there'd still be sufficient caps available to close the city. The possible attack by Blue with the one and only dagger isn't really that big of a problem. Blue adds another point to the road, also another city to their field. Yellow kills. Nah, it doesn't kill. Or just takes away further potential from the road. And also attacks Blue's field, which is pretty lovely. As Blue would have to bring Yellow's farmer into their field with the crossroad to close the road. Yellow, though, doesn't want to wait, connects immediately, which I don't like, although they don't have a meeple in hand. Yeah, then it's fine. Else I would have rather snatched these 2 points and added a city to my field. This is nice for Yellow. Blue city is dead. Their city still has, or had, a chance to be closed, and forced Blue to add the crossroad there. Else Blue, of course, would have loved to get their meeple back and maybe take another 3-point road. Oh, not just that. They dropped the farmer here, so they could have united this 0-point field with Yellow's 9-point field, with the problem of Yellow being able to add their second farmer to it with a road piece. This here is dead as well, so both cities are dead. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. This takes away 3 points from yellow, and there was no need to do this. Yes, there was still the option of blue connecting like this, but this square is dead. So for one, they would need these two pieces. And of course, you could have just killed the square. And then the 0-point farmer would only score points if they happen to get the dagger. Blue with the crucial cap, scoring 4 points. Yellow 2, but yellow is at -2. And even the dagger isn't worth as much now. Sure, you'd score 4 plus 3 or 7, but blue would score 6. So it's a 1-point move only. And then you might take the road, of course, which would then be a 2-point move, of course. It's not really a lot. But all other permutations aren't better. If blue gets their hands on this dagger, it's even worse. They'd score 10, 6 for the field, 4 for the dagger, or rather 5 for the road even. So 11, and you only get 3, 8 points for blue, and it's just game over then. So yellow needs the dagger, and looks like they'll need the monastery as well. Is this enough? Yeah, it's enough. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Feels like a wasted game by yellow. Really feels like that. So this straight was wrong for sure. This here looked like it was the correct move. Also good for blue that they knew this crossroad would kill the city. Yeah, but still. I think yellow wasted this one. Let me quickly check the replay. At the point of the straight, at least, there should have been a favorite to win this one, actually. So this here actually was nice. Yeah, considering they need curves on the right side, waiting for a curve to connect in favor of growing your field by 3 points. Yeah, I'm not sure. The problem with this whole situation here is that blue could easily re-attack this field, take it away with a lot of tiles. So I'm not convinced this is a great move by blue, but at least it's a very interesting one. There were still good chances for yellow to connect here, and then you'd have devalued the crossroad by placing this farmer here. But I mean, if you get the crossroad and can live with a dead road meeple, it could become a great farmer, but you need the 50-50 for the dagger, the 50-50 for the crossroad, and likely a block up top. Whoa. Looks like a rather reckless approach, even though it worked out in the end. So yeah, this was a great move by yellow, and blues was great as well. Yellow closes the road, all looking fine here, getting a meeple back. Yellow's at +4. Blue nicely at the point of the monastery, also enhancing both these monastery squares, with the hopes of being later able to take one maybe after scoring quick points. Yeah, this was the situation. Crossroad is gone, and blue would need 2 pieces over here, and you could block this one. So, crucial mistake. This straight has to go here. Kill the square. And then you are the favorite to win this game, because you are the side having more pieces in the end. Sure, a bit lucky for blue to draw the first cap to take this city. Yeah, so this move by blue, was this correct? Was this even necessary? I'd say no, because this scores 4 points. The monastery would score 7, unless yellow blocks this square, but then you would score 6 over here, and the block would be the 7th point. So you'd be better off by getting the monastery and meepling this one on your turn. And you would also score 5 points over here, but with this one you would score 5 points as well. So maybe it would have been more precise just to add the curve, but not meeple the road. No, it wouldn't be. Because then yellow might take the road. Let's rewind one step. Yeah, talking about rewind, and then I hit next move. Okay, we go from here. So blue is at 75 without this road. If they just add the curve there, and yellow takes this on the next turn with the dagger, yellow would be at 78. And then blue would need to score 3 points, which is possible with both these tiles, right? And there is a 3-point field over here. And of course, the monastery would score more than 3 points. So the dagger is no problem. Crossroad isn't a problem as well. Either you get the dagger for the, what did I say, 5 plus 6 minus 3, 8-point move. Or you'd get the monastery for the 7-point move, and both would win you the game. And if yellow gets the monastery, yeah, well, they could take it for 5 points, but then you just take the road or this one on the left to at least equalize their points, and you'd still be ahead. So it definitely would have been more precise for blue not to meeple the road. But is there any case where they could still lose? That's the question, actually. So what's the best yellow could get? Looks like dagger for 1 point. So 7 to them, 6 to blue. And then the monastery for 5. This would be 6 points. But then blue scores 1 point with the crossroad for a 1-point win. So this doesn't work. And if yellow just scores 2 points over here, and in the end 4 points with the road, blue would score 1 point and would be up by, oh no, quite, it's wrong. Blue would score 1 point for the monastery and be up by 1 point as well. So looks like, even though this isn't the optimal move points-wise, it would have been a 100% win in any permutation, unless I've missed something. Well, no matter what, 203 club won this one. Deservedly so. Minqian sadly had too many mistakes in their game. So 203 club versus tomato can in the semi-final dueling for the final spot against Mitao Cat, to be played quite likely before Christmas. So this or next week in best of 5 fashion. And the loser of the semi-final will play against Inspiration for the bronze medal. And again, the winner of this best of 5 will get a ticket of this year's this season's Carcassonne Champions League. At least that's what I think should be the case, as the one main stage ticket, the regular main stage ticket from China. There's no one here. So this should be the tournament to decide who will get this ticket. The other main stage ticket for Q is, of course, due to being the World Cup winner this year. So let's then check what else is happening today. There will be the Q2 lower final between Roy Che and Nari. I might stream that one, and the same goes for the Italian Carcassonne Champions League qualification semi-final 1 between Angostura 4 and Lambe at 21 UTC, but we'll see. Usually I'm quite tired by that time. If not, I might cover this if Alexi doesn't. Thanks for tuning in. I see you. Bye-bye.